It's crazy.
Yesterday was horrific. Every day is.
And there's no real hope in sight in terms of the economy because everything's getting more locked down. Like today, what got passed down today in California? They went back to almost stage one. They shut down all the gyms. What did they shut down? Yeah, my yoga teacher's been trying to get me to go to yoga. I'm like, isn't that like a hot room?
I do it. You can
heavy?
do it on online.
I do it at home, bro.
Yeah.
California closed to close indoor restaurants, movie theaters, and bars statewide as coronavirus cases rise. Did it say gyms as well? Hair salons, barbershops, fitness centers, worship services. Oh my God.
Worship service. So that's churches and synagogues.
Yep, everything.
Well, it work when they suppress it. It works in countries.
Well,
in
here's the thing, though. They keep saying, but it's okay to protest. You can't.
But then they're saying
that.
Then you hear, and I don't know where I hear it. It might be left information that a lot of protesters were protected, didn't get sick, is what I'm hearing. I can't believe that.
Does that make any sense?
Doesn't make any sense.
They don't want to say that these incredibly significant historical protests have created an uptick in the virus that will likely lead to deaths. They don't want to say that. But both those things are true. Those protests are very important. They're
important, and they're moving the needle.
Yeah.
And the life is going to change, so that is a positive for people that have been neglected for so long. But it's all at once. It's like some fucking supreme weird litmus on the whole universe. It's like,
and I don't think
it's
over.
Sci-fi.
I don't think it's over.
I thought this was germ warfare, is what I thought this was. I didn't think this was. And wet markets are open again, is what I'm hearing.
Well, it's not from the wet market.
That's what I want to know. Talk to me.
All indications seem to point to the fact that this was a virus that had been manipulated. I had Brett Weinstein on my podcast. He's a biologist, and he, in terms that I will not be able to recreate, explained all the different factors that when they examined the virus would not be very likely to have happened in nature, and certainly not as quickly as they had. That all these different aspects of the virus point to the fact that it had been something that had been manipulated, the fact that there was a level 4 lab in Wuhan. This is not, people love to use the term conspiracy theory, but this level 4 lab where they studied coronaviruses that come from bats is there. It's in Wuhan.
Why are they studying?
And that same lab had been 2 years ago, had been in trouble for violating safety protocols.
Oh.
Look, China's it's not America. It's not the same. And they do things differently over there. They're completely intertwined with their government. They can get away with things that we can't get away with here. And they don't have as strict a protocol when it comes to handling disease.
Well, the word on the street is often that it's wealthy people wanting to have their endangered species fixed. That's what you hear.
What do you mean?
That the wet market bat is like a delicacy, and that's how it got spread.
I have not heard that. I don't know if that's true.
I don't know where I heard it.
I would imagine it would be more like people are starving and they need to eat whatever they can eat, and they eat bats. But
I always pictured it laid out like lobsters at the farmer's market. That's what I was picturing.
That'd probably be safer. It's not what happened. I don't believe that's what happened. And Brett Weinstein's very careful in not saying that this is definitely what happened, but he points to all the factors that lead to this very likely conclusion that this is something that accidentally got out of a lab. There's a reason why it's so contagious, that it spreads so easily, that it takes on so many different forms and has so many different reactions and so many different people. It's almost like we're dealing with a bunch of different diseases.
Anytime you mate humanity with an animal, there's a serious problem. I'm not talking sex.
Well, it's doing better than we're doing. China's, they've got it way more under control than we do.
How do we know that, though?
I don't know. We don't. They lie about everything. The other thing about what's weird is, like, why did it go so badly here? Like, if you look at the UK's basically got restaurants are open again. New Zealand has 0 viruses now. They're back to normal. I mean, they're not letting anybody in, but they are literally back to a no virus situation.
It's like the resistance of the United States is down because so many, not the resistance, but our immune system is down because there's so much hatred. There's so much fucking weird shit.